can't believe I'm in Vienna. I mean, I have not been here since I was 10 years old with my brother and my 3 sisters and my parents, and I remember vividly standing in front of the Spanish riding school and just being in awe of the magnificent Lipizzaner horses and bringing home a porcelain statue that sits in my living room to this day. I treasure it, so I'm thrilled to be exploring Vienna again.
100 Days, Drinks, Dishes, and Destinations is brought to you by...
With AMA Waterways, guests can climb, pedal, and journey beyond the beaten path while cruising on storied rivers across Europe. You can find out more at amawaterways.com.
When I picture my dad, Josh, I remember his hands. Strong, they were worn, stained. That was years of hard work as a lumberjack. His commitment, work ethic, values, that's what really inspired me to create Josh Cellars.
Otherworldly and down to earth. Visit Napa Valley.
Come with me to stamp your passport to delicious. I'm drinks and culinary expert Leslie Sbrocco, and I'm traveling, tasting, sipping, and savoring the world to share my bucket list of palate-pleasing experiences.
Cheers.
On 100 Days, Drinks, Dishes, and Destinations.
Everybody here is enjoying the World UNESCO Heritage Site that Vienna is. It is so filled with history. It is so filled with beauty. It is just, my cup is overflowing. I'm so happy.
Magnificent in the radiant sunshine or even in the pouring rain. And you can often get both here on the same day. This famed city of music and city of dreams was established in early Roman times. Waves of crusaders heading to and from the Holy Land passed through this key center of trade. But it remained confined by its protective walls until the 1700s. The walls came down as Vienna expanded and became capital city of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, which stretched far across Europe until its collapse at the end of the First World War. Since the mid-1800s, the outline of the old fortress city has been the Ringstrasse, a grand boulevard lined with over-the-top examples of Baroque architecture. The sights seem endless. The City Hall, the Burg Theater, University, Parliament, and the Twin Museums. And then there's Vienna's who's who list of world-famous minds and artistic talent. Think Freud, Haydn, Mozart, Beethoven, and Klimt.
This street was considered the Broadway of the 1860s and 1870s, and Johann Strauss Jr. lived here with his wife, and it's where he composed the Blue Danube. He was quite a pop star.
There's so much to see, so much to do, and so much to eat and drink. It's hard to turn a corner without a cafe beckoning to taste what this town is known for: coffee. It doesn't matter why or with who, there's always time for coffee. But we'll get to that. First, with all the splendor, a walkathon through Vienna is a must. And prepare for all kinds of weather. I mean, seriously, bring an umbrella and a coat. It can be wet and cold. Ah, but nothing warms you up quite like a sausage. A sausage snack, of course, called Wurst.
If you're hungry or thirsty in Vienna, you can do what the locals do, which is to belly up to the bar at one of the sausage stands and order a Käsegrinder and even a glass or a little mini bottle of Sekt. So he's cutting it up into little pieces, putting some mustard on it. Beautiful. So this is a Käsegrinder, a cheese sausage with a little bit of mustard and some chewy soft bread, a little Sekt or sparkling wine, and I'm digging in. Hot. Woo. Hot. Dripping with fat, dripping with cheese. This pork sausage is really a taste of Vienna. So don't worry about stopping and sitting down for lunch when you're sightseeing. Just head on over to a sausage stand and grab a little cheese sausage.
As filling as a grab-and-go sausage and Sekt may be, to really experience the city and culture of Vienna, I'll need a true insider. And I have just the resident guide in mind, a local who's asked me to meet him for, you guessed it, coffee.
Simon, hello. How are you?
Welcome to Vienna.
Thank
I'm
you.
fabulous.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
So I'm having a basic coffee here. It's called a verlängerte.
Verlängerte?
Verlängerte?
Verlängerte.
Yeah, that's a black coffee with a little bit of water.
And then you have water on the side.
Water on the
just-
side. There we
All
go.
right.
That would be an
Oh,
espresso.
there we go. This is an espresso. Tell me about the coffee culture during the day of Vienna.
Of course, we have a coffee at home, but still, like, if I would meet for a drink, it would be a coffee. Mostly, actually, here. We call them coffee houses here. It's not necessarily a coffee shop.
It's a social activity throughout the day.
Certainly, yes.
I have to say that it's very silky and it's very fresh.
Now, Lucy, it's also the cups from the owner. I think there's a signature here. He's called Leopold Havelka.
Havelka.
And the son of this certain Havelka still runs the place today. This used to be the who is who of the famous writers and people from Vienna in the 60s and 70s. Apparently, the interior design still is the same as it was in 1912.
Really?
So maybe it's a little bit shabby chic, but therefore it's got a
shabby
rich
chic.
history.
It's nice.
Yes.
I like it.
And still to this day, the pastries are made right here.
Bitte schön, hier sind die Apfelstrudel.
Owner Günther Havelka still makes his apple strudel and buchtel daily. His only concession to modernity is his espresso machine.
The coffee house was started by my parents in '39.
In 1939.
And after the war, we carry on with the coffee house. Slowly, it was even better. And then we had many people who say, we want to make a modern coffee house. So my father said, we don't make a modern place because this is Vienna coffee house culture. But unfortunately, you don't have many coffee houses in this style anymore because many people modernize, which is for the Vienna's coffee house culture very bad. My treasure is the coffee machine. I can make it very strong and I can make it very light. We have roasting our own coffee. The very common coffee is melange. We have small coffees, a kleine Gold.
Kleine Gold.
This is kleine Gold. It's a small gold coffee. This is for people who have maybe heart problem, you know. Then a kleine Braunen, then you have kleine Mokka, melange. Then you have the gewaltige.
The
This is very, very slow.
extraordinary one.
So it's a whole different language in order it's an ordering protocol in a Viennese coffee house.
Yeah.
But if you order a melange, then you're safe.
This is what to say. You cannot do much failure.
Although I can smell the coffee is wonderful, but this.
This is all made with very good ingredients. My profession is I'm a basic cook. My mother said we must have a specialty. So we started with the buchtel. So you serve it warm, yes, hot. It must be served hot because the marmalade is very hot.
Yeah.
This is plum.
Prune or plum?
It's a plum jam.
The bread is soft and dense and chewy, but not sweet.
The thing is, when you make it many times, many years, you make the buchtels, then you'll be always much better. You'll be perfect in the end.
Practice makes the
You'll be
master.
Well, they taste perfect to me.
The apple strudel too is something that you make here.
We make it in our own roasting place outside of Vienna.
It's a very thin crust and overflowing with the apple mixture. This is the best thing I've put in my mouth in so long.
So I'm very happy you like my buchtels and you like my apple.
Your strudel and your buchtels.
It's a very hard business because you have to come in the morning and you go 3 o'clock in the morning. So this is almost 20 hours a day.
What is the future?
I'm already grandfather. I have 2 sons. This is Michael and Amir.
And they're gonna run the business.
They carry on the business. I have given all away, all the money I give to my son, because invest the money for the future. Maybe he will not work so much as I do, but he will keep the business.
I want to be able to come here when I'm 60, 70, and I want
Yes.
to find it just like it is now. I want
We
to
will
find it
not
just
change
like that.
anything. It will stay how it is.
So the future is strong.
Yep.
Well, Günther, thank you very much. Danke.
Madam Christian, I'm pleased to meet you and I'm pleased
You
about talking to you.
Dankeschön.
I love Günther's deep respect for the past and his commitment to protect the coffee house culture that began way back in 1685 when, it's said, that coffee was made with coffee beans left behind by the Turks when they fled the city. Austria is a landlocked country in the center of Europe, far from the sea. But Vienna has made its own watery recreation spots along the wide and deep river Danube as it flows past the city. A perfect entry for visitors, ships dock along its banks just a short ride from the city center. Engineers created an island in the river separating the main channel from this slower flowing part. Not only is there a leisure area on the island, there are places with docks for pleasure boats, sheltered beaches for sunbathing, and grassy banks to enjoy picnicking, hidden but within sight of the city center.
So this is a secret spot.
It is a secret spot to Viennese people.
And the city is right there.
The city is right there. We're gonna see the UN buildings. We have a very high tower, the DC Tower. It's kind of a new environment for like the international center, and lots of international stuff is going on there.
So if you're visiting Vienna and you just want to come out and live like a local, this is the way to do it.
This would be the way to do it. And you know what else? We need food, of course.
Well, I will let you do the bread while I do the wine.
Good. This wine is called Vienna.
And it's a white blend
It's
of
a white
local
blend.
varieties.
Yes, yes.
And it's labeled DAC, which means the highest quality. It's a little spritzy, it's a little juicy, it's like citrus peel. It is yummy and delicious, that wine.
The bread that I grew up and the bread that we have here in Austria is just phenomenal.
Oh, look at that. It definitely has a yummy wheat smell to it. Oh, and it's soft and chewy.
It's very soft and chewy.
It's like a sponge. It's that
It's
dense
moist,
and chewy.
yeah.
It tastes like cream of wheat with little chunky, chewy
Lovely.
bits of malted wheat in there.
And
But
it
we do
doesn't
have some bubbles because
We do have some bubbles,
I had
too.
the Schlumberger.
Yes.
This is Sekt.
This
and
is Sekt.
people don't know Sekt, S-E-K-T, Sekt, from Austria and Germany is the sparkling wine.
Yes. And it's Grüne Veltliner Sekt.
So Grüner Veltliner bubbles. Ah, that is so refreshing. All right, so to me, when you have something this refreshing and sparkling, I want to go with something fatty and salty. So
This is sausage from the mountain region, and they are famous for the sausages too, so I brought some here. This is smoked.
this is just dripping. I'm telling you, it's dripping with gorgeous, unctuous,
very
fat
fatty.
quality, beautiful pork. Not too much spice.
So here we have Scheringer, that's an Upper Austrian brand for cheese. So this is called wine cheese.
Wine cheese.
Yes, it's riped in a red wine barrel, and it's a soft cheese.
It's almost like kind of a brie cheese, but when you bite into it, it's got a really tangy finish.
So these are basically just waffles, but these are like the most traditional waffle you can get your hands on. Because you see there's the Stevens Cathedral on here, and it
Right.
also says Wien underneath.
Vienna.
These
Wien
are,
is Vienna.
Yes, these are made in the 16th district. They're not vanilla, they're like, they're like.
chocolate inside.
Yeah, no, it's hazelnut.
Hazelnut.
Yeah.
Okay,
You just break a piece here, they're already pre-cut.
Very light and not overly sweet.
Oh, no, it's not overly sweet.
And
mean,
you
it's-
know what? Just like everything else in the world, it's better with bubbles.
So this is basically the summer getaway from the city, which is 10 minutes from the center. You have the boats here, there's a lot of rowing competitions going on. We can swim here because the water quality is perfect.
Vienna keeps surprising me, I'll tell you. My heart is full. I am so happy right now.
Our picnic was a deliciously tasty interlude, but I'm ready to discover more unique flavors of Vienna. And after a short ride to a spot still within city limits, I'm visiting a Heuriger, or wine tavern, for dinner. Here they grow grapes to make their own wine. Vines have grown along the Danube's banks since Roman times, and now there are hundreds of wine producers and nearly 1,800 acres of grapes, like Grüner Veltliner and Zweigelt, planted within Vienna's city limits. In Heuriger Wolf's rustic dining room, residents come to drink their wine but also eat their famous Wiener schnitzel that our host Elizabeth Wolf prepares, pounding out the veal, then dipping it in flour, and the beaten eggs, and finally breadcrumbs, before quickly frying it in oil until it's golden and ready to serve. And in the bucolic gardens, it's the perfect place for sitting back and learning more about the traditions of the Viennese.
Before we get to the wine, I'd like to look at the spritzer.
The spritzer, yes.
Weiße Spritzer.
We have a
You
Weiße
have a
Spritzer.
Veltliner Spritzer. You
Yes.
have a Roter Spritzer.
Yeah, which
you
is
have a
a red
Tiroler
Spritz.
Spritzer.
A Tiroler
You
Spritz.
have a Veilchen Spritzer.
The Veilchen spritzer.
Veilchen.
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 Make it a like default.
Default.
Fault. Veil. Like a cat. Veilchen.
Veil.
There we go.
Fachchenspritzer.
All right, I don't understand you. There we go. That's a violet spritz, so it's gonna come.
I will be much
nice...
better after I have a spritzer.
Yes, definitely.
I will pronounce it much better.
So I'm bringing some snacks. Do you want to order some spritzers?
I do.
Leslie, let me just introduce you to Elizabeth. Elizabeth is the daughter of the owner of this restaurant and place and this vineyard, actually.
Exactly, yeah. So we're now here since 1609, actually. So over
Just a few
more than
years.
400 years now.
That is crazy.
I'm now the 14th generation. Since then we're making wine in this spot. Back then it wasn't a part of Vienna, but as the city grew, it became a part of Vienna.
And serving traditional Viennese dishes.
Exactly, yeah. Enjoy a small snack or whole dinner, enjoy a good glass of wine and sit together with family and friends.
That's just what we're gonna do now.
We're going to enjoy our spritzers and,
Yes.
our schnitzel.
A spritzer and a schnitzel?
Tell me about the roter spritzer.
Yeah, it's sparkling water with red wine. It's really refreshing also.
And what is the red wine made from? What grape?
It's from Zweigert.
Zweigert. Okay.
You can mix it however you like, with a little bit more wine or less wine.
I like to do it half-half, which is very strong, but still.
Okay, so... And Zweigelt has this lovely Gamay-like lightness and brightness to it. It's a really fresh, juicy red wine. Prost.
Enjoy.
That's just how I like
good.
it. So what we have here for starters, this is pickled pepperoni, and here we have a Liptauer, which is like a
This
pepper...
is Liptauer.
Yes, so this is like a pepper-based cream cheese. This is cream
And that's got a
cheese by
kick, though. This is paprika on top.
Yeah, it's also quite spicy, a little bit spicy, yeah.
This is schmaltz.
Yes.
Basically fat, right? Rendered
Yeah.
fat when you
Rendered
cook meat.
fat. I mean, they do add a little bit of spices, but it's tasty, so
That is good.
nothing wrong with that.
There is nothing wrong with just fat. And this is a little fried fat,
Yes.
otherwise known as cracklins.
Here's coming our Gusto-Platte.
This is just local specialties, right? Traditional specialties.
Everything.
So here we're having different Schweinsbraten, our Blunzen.
And is this a blood sausage or no?
Yeah, it's called Blunzen and we really enjoy to eat it in Vienna and in Austria with horseradish, so it's a little bit
Ooh, horseradish.
spicy. Knödel, very simple, it's called dumpling, yeah. Grilled chicken, over here the Wiener Schnitzel and some fried vegetables.
All right, I'm digging in.
Dig in!
Fried vegetable.
I'm excited myself. This is like the most of Austrian food that you can get on one plate, so
That is fabulous pork of some
Yeah.
sort. That.
it's gonna crack.
The pork loin super moist, and the skin is just like a little crunchy baseball bat. I'm going in for the canoodle.
Go for it. Oh, this is just like my grandmother would make it, really.
The breading is so light,
Yeah.
but you need the sauerkraut to give you that little punch, that little kick. When you have richer dishes like this, you need to have some acid, whether that comes from the wine, whether that comes from the lemon, or whether that comes from the sauerkraut,
True.
to help cleanse your palate and balance out that fried
There's
food.
something too, like traditionally also a Wiener Schnitzel would come with a slice of citrus and a red currant jam. I did not grow up with that, so it's like, for me, it's odd to put some jam onto the...
Right. Or you could just do this. This is red,
Yes, definitely it is.
much better. This isn't something that you come home and say, I'm going to make myself
No.
some
No,
you know,
so
Wiener
this is
Schnitzel.
also very special to me. I'm just appreciating the richness of the food that we have here. Especially because we're not having this just in a regular restaurant. We're having this at a place where it's been celebrated forever and it's perfected, like the recipes.
400 years.
400 years. I mean,
Mere 400 years.
I'm flabbergasted by that too.
Other cities may have vineyard plantings, but Vienna is the only capital sporting true wine country within the city. After a day of food and drink, I'm ready to explore the city, and right in its heart, you'll find one of Vienna's most significant and beloved sites, the Romanesque and Gothic architecture of St. Stephen's Cathedral. It's been here for more than 700 years and is a must-see. I light a candle in my sister's memory and take a moment to reflect and remember us together as kids in Vienna. Then I meld back into the throngs of visitors. Filled with artifacts, it's the place where Joseph Haydn sang as a choir boy and where Mozart was married. Ah, if the walls could sing. Leaving the church, music is everywhere in the city. In fact, Mozart lived just around the corner.
We just arrived at his apartment, one of his apartments. He lived here in the 1780s, and he wrote Le Nozze di Figaro right here.
Figaro, Figaro.
That one.
You're a musical theater person, right?
Yes, I brought us another treat. 1, 2, 3. So these are Mozartkugeln.
Mozartkugel, otherwise known as Mozart balls.
Yes.
A chocolate treat from Vienna. All right, here we go.
So many layers. We got marzipan, we got white nougat, dark nougat, chocolate all around it to round it up.
Creamy and smooth.
The pedestrian thoroughfare of the city center is crowded, but it does make it simple to walk to many of the historic sites. I wanted to find another destination filled with childhood memories. A timeless Vienna institution, the Hotel Sacher, home of the world-famous Sachertorte. Since 1876, the Hotel Sacher has been the ultimate in elegance and luxury. From the richly decorated entrance to its jewel-toned gathering rooms, dining rooms, and bars, where every wall and every corner holds something of beauty. And then there is the cafe. And of course, it's time for another coffee. Here, it's coffee with a twist and cake.
Are you excited?
I am. You know, the Spanish writing school was a memory for me as a kid, but this is seared into my memory as well with the red walls and this beautiful opulence. You know, as a kid where your feet are hanging down, you can't even touch the floor, digging into chocolate cake.
But let me tell you, it's the same for me. Like, I grew up in Linz, but when we come to Vienna, we had to have a coffee here, and we had to have, me as a child with chocolate cake and beans. So this is also just something that is embedded in my memory, in my childhood.
And it's not just chocolate cake.
No, it's
This is a
certainly not.
sachertorte.
Oh, thank you very much.
2 original Sacher cake.
Thank you, Shun.
Coffee.
This is the original Sacher coffee.
Yeah. With the chocolate apricot liqueur.
Oh, look at that.
It's
Pure
inspired
decadence.
on the original Sacher cake. And 2 glass Sacher cuvée. Enjoy it.
Oh, danke.
Dankeschön. Vielen Dank. Wow.
So it's true that as a kid growing up in Austria, this was a special treat as well, not
Certainly,
just for American
yes.
tourists visiting.
I was in a rush before Christmas, and I didn't know what to bring, like all of my family. So I came here, I got me a big piece of Sacher cake, and I brought it home, and everybody was like, yes, this is just something that you want to experience.
It's iconic.
Yeah. If you're in a restaurant, you order like a chocolate cake, they might call it Sacher cake, but it's certainly not from this hotel here. And this recipe is also, I guess, a secret.
It was a happy circumstance that this apprentice in 1832 was able, because the main pastry chef was sick, he was able to create this incredible dessert that became so world famous. When you put that cake into your mouth, it's like little crystals of chocolate and apricot exploding in your mouth. There is a crystalline little quality to it, isn't it? It's sweet, but it's not overly sweet. And the chocolate on top is actually quite light. And it looks like it would be this heavy chocolate frosting, but it's not at all.
They know what they're doing with the chocolate
certainly do.
here. It has 3 different types of chocolate in it, and especially at the time that this was coming up, chocolate was a very rare good. So basically this is like luxury in the form of a pastry.
The apricot jam adds this lovely freshness and this lovely zest, and another little layer of
balances it
sweetness.
out,
Yeah, another little layer of sweetness, but balancing it out. Oh my. There is no sugar in this. It's like drinking a warm milkshake of coffee and chocolate and apricot. Now, the Sacher cuvée. They've blended this Sekt to go with the cake. Oh, that's delicious. This cake is everything I remember as a kid. It brings back these memories of sitting here with my family, my brother and sisters and my parents, and digging in as a child. And it looks the same, and the cake is even better than I remember. I just remember as a kid chocolate cake. And what an experience.
I'm glad that we're doing this.
And just across from the hotel, you'll find the Vienna Opera House, one of the leading opera houses of the world. It's an imposing building during the daytime, but even more so at night. And if you don't have a ticket, Not to worry, you can sit outside to watch a live stream of the production inside on the drop-down screen. But do dress warmly, as it can get chilly. And on the night I was there, very windy.
Being in Vienna has far exceeded my childhood memories. I have been grinning from ear to ear for days. As an adult, I can appreciate the elegant architecture and enjoy the traditional dishes from schnitzel to strudel to sachertorte, and of course a few sparkling surprises like Sekt. And where else can you listen to world-class opera without a ticket right here in front of the Opera House? Until next time, Danke Wien.
100 Days, Drinks, Dishes, and Destinations is brought to you by...
With AMA Waterways, guests can climb, pedal, and journey beyond the beaten path while cruising on storied rivers across Europe. You can find out more at amawaterways.com.
When I picture my dad, Josh, I remember his hands. Strong, they were worn, stained. That was years of hard work as a lumberjack. His commitment, work ethic, values, that's what really inspired me to create Josh Cellars.
Otherworldly and down to earth. Visit Napa Valley.
For more information on all episodes, along with our expanded digital series, including behind-the-scenes footage and stories, and links to follow me on Facebook and Instagram, go to 100daysdrinksdishesdestinations.com.
Enjoying the history and the picturesque. I know, right? It's hard to eat on camera, isn't it? It's not easy.
You don't have anything in your mouth.
I know, you're like, okay, I'm full. Don't worry about stopping for lunch. Just look for a vert stand. Is that what it is?
That's good.
I had to.
Did you get
Sorry.
that? You didn't get that, so...
Aw! I have to do that again? Got milk?